So we all know 2008 is an election year. The election will take place on November 4th, 2008. We know each state has a certain number of electoral votes. There are a total of 538 electoral votes in the current U.S. Electoral College. So from this we know that the two competing candidates in the general election need to get 270 votes, and by doing so will have officially been elected the next President of the United States. Many people will be following the results as they come in on that night after polls start closing. Unfortunately, as we have seen in the past two elections, these results can come very, very slowly. So if you're a person who's going to follow the election and wait up to see who will become the next President of the United States, I have some useful information for you. You do not need to stay up all night. I repeat, you do not need to stay up all night and keep track of all the states to see who gets the 270 electoral votes needed to win. Instead, you only need to keep track of 4. That's right, only 4 states. The 4 states you need to follow are Arkansas, Missouri, Ohio, and Tennessee. Now you might be asking, why only these states? Well, here is why. 1964 is the first U.S. election year to include all 50 states and the District of Columbia to make up the total electoral votes. Before this, the District of Columbia was not included in the election process. But the ratification of the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution in 1961 allowed people living in D.C. to have their votes counted in the next election, which would be in 1964. I'm bringing this up because from the 1964 election to now, we have had the same number of states and districts, just the one with D.C., vote in every election. Only the number of electoral votes per these states have changed due to, population changes. So now that I've given that background, let me say this. From the 1964 election to the 2004 election, these 4 states have never, I repeat, never picked a candidate on the day of the general election who did not become the next President of the United States. So let me say this again. They have never been wrong. Whoever they have voted for, strangely enough, also got the majority and became the next president. The only exception to this rule would be an incident in 1968 when Arkansas voted for George Wallace, a third-party candidate. Now, even just for Arkansas, that's their only exception. Besides that, one election year, like the other 3 states, they've never been wrong in picking the next president on Election Day. So on Tuesday, November 4th, 2008, just pay attention to those 4 states. And here are the times that the polls close in each of those states from first to last. Ohio is first and closes at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Missouri and Tennessee are both second and close at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And finally, third, Arkansas closes at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. So, if you watch these 4, you will know and save a lot of time and know much sooner with great amount of certainty who will be the next President of the United States. All of this will be known by shortly after 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. So please don't stay up all night. Get some rest and just keep track of these 4. Thank you.